Hello everyone, this is the beginning of my YouTube channel, kind of the introduction. I've had a lot of people ask me about it and ask me to do this. I've been around to local schools talking to kids about some of my mistakes, my addictions, and as well as my own suicide attempt. It was about 2006. I attempted to take my life by shooting myself underneath the chin while I was intoxicated. And I go around talking about the road to recovery, kind of what happened before I, shot myself, and then kind of the recovery process afterwards. And I've been on some local podcasts. I'm going to be doing a TED Talk soon. I'm also in the process of writing a book. And people are just kind of looking for more content, kind of hear from me more. And so I figured that YouTube's a pretty good platform to do that. And that's why I'm, starting to do a YouTube channel. And what I really aim to do is kind of talk about the pitfalls people can get in. It was at a young age, trying to fit in with certain crowds, kind of where the road to addiction can lead. I think that it has to be understood that just because I, started using drugs at a young age doesn't mean that you're going to go off and, potentially shoot yourself. But I think that you have to understand that it can lead that way. And it led me into gangs and the attempt on my life, which pretty much made me very hateful and vengeful. I had a pretty rough upbringing. I was abused as a child, things like that. And it kind of made me hold a victim mentality where I never was accountable for any of my actions. It was always someone else's fault. And it was just kind of just perpetuated into something, big by not being accountable for my actions. So really what I aim to do is kind of do weekly videos and just talk about, snippets of how things came to be for me, and how I ended up getting to those points, and kind of my mindset, kind of what my mindset was on society, what I thought society thought about me, and kind of about the things that I put up, the armor I put up, the guard I put up, kind of the persona that I put up so people couldn't tell who I really was and what I was really feeling, especially up to the time where I tried to take my life. No one really knew I was going to do that. I just did it. But I had been thinking about it for a long time beforehand. And so I hope that through these videos and stuff like that, people can start trying to let their guard down and start talking about some of the problems that they're having. Another thing that I want to do is I know a lot of people in my local area. I'm in northern Utah, and this state, there's a big issue with suicide. Not only suicide, but addiction. I mean, you look at the national opioid crisis, and Utah's probably at the top. You look at, adolescent suicide, things like that. It's really high. So I would like to interview some people as well, so you can get some perspectives on what other people have went through, their own suicide attempts, maybe their own addictions, maybe the people who have lost family members to suicide. And I have a lot of those people that I will be interviewing just to so you can get perspective, so you can try to understand and gain some awareness what people go through, how people feel before they try to take their own lives, what it actually feels like to try to take your own life, and kind of what you have to live with after that. I think that's a big thing. People think that, you have problems before you try to make an attempt on your life. And, you look at someone who's recovered or whatever, and you think everything's okay. I mean, like me, I have a pretty decent job right now. I go around talking to a lot of different people. I've talked to 1,000 people at a time. And you would think that, everything's golden for me. And that's not the case. I mean, I still have to live with things every day. And I think that we really have to know that. Like, I'm not perfect. There's, by a long shot, I'm still struggling to this day, trying to live with what I've done and what I've done to other people. But I think that, together we can kind of grow, and, with awareness and trying to break down these barriers and break down the stigma, we can kind of grow as a community. And not only a community, but hopefully a society is kind of the thing that I'm aiming to do. Another thing that I want to talk about is the transgender youth and the transgender community, because I know they have a really high suicide rate. And I think a lot of that is just them trying to feel like they belong. They don't know where they fit in society. And I think that's probably a really hard thing, to deal with. I don't know what that's like personally, but I would like to bring someone on this channel and have them talk about it and talk about how they feel and how they feel society views them, because I think that's a big deal. A lot of times, people who commit suicide, they have this view of what they think society thinks of them. Now, whether that's true or not, that's anyone's guess. But a lot of it is perspective. I have no hope. People don't like me. Nobody loves me. Society's garbage, whatever. People are jerks. And that tends to happen. And I think the reason why that tends to happen a lot is because we don't really, right now in today's society, we focus more on what makes us different than what makes us alike. Your neighbor living next door to you, how often do you talk to them? How well do you know them? And the biggest question of all really is, how well do you know yourself? And I think that's something else that, as this channel progresses, that's something that I really want to have people think about, is how well do you know yourself? And are you okay with yourself? Because I think that we all have secrets that we hold inside that we really don't tell anyone. And I think that creates a lot of issues. Because when you do that, you're not really ever showing anyone who you really are. And if you have a problem, especially males, you look at the suicide rate with males, it's really high. And I think we feel the pressure of being macho, not really letting anyone in, not knowing anyone we're hurt, that we really care. This is difficult. We have to let that go. We have to start pulling our guards down, letting people in, help people understand you. Another thing is I've noticed, social media, people attacking everybody else. I think everyone attacks everyone because they don't really know who they are. I think if you knew who you were, truly, that's just my opinion. I think that if you know who you really are, then you won't be so quick to judge other people, because really, we're really alike. We have a lot of similarities. We're all, for the most part, have a lot of the same struggles, and as human beings, we all feel pain, we all laugh, we all cry, we all get hungry, we all get tired, and this is the thing that we have to understand, is that we are really alike. And even when we have a difference, we need to get to a point where we're okay with having differences. People are afraid to show their weaknesses because they think they're going to be exploited for weaknesses. They just only want to talk about their strengths. But I think once society and a community can be more open with, this is what I'm strong at. These are the things I do well, and these are the things that I don't do so well. I think that once people start having an awareness and having a connection with each other, they'll be able to help their neighbor, their friends, their family members capitalize on their strengths and, understand their weaknesses. And so that's what the whole goal of this is awareness. It's awareness of yourself, the awareness of your family, your loved ones, the awareness of your community, and the awareness of things that you don't understand, the people you don't understand. There's a lot of people out there that they don't understand what it's like to be a drug addict. They don't understand what it's like to be suicidal. They don't understand what it's like to be depressed. And same with like transgender. People don't understand what it's like to be transgender or homosexual, religious, not religious. And I think that as this channel progresses and we talk to more people, I think that my goal is for you to gain insights on these people's perspective so you can understand them, so that you can relate to them. And that way we're not judging each other, we're not putting each other in boxes. One more thing I like to mention is I want to do some work with veterans as well, because our veterans are coming home and they have a high suicide rate. They're dealing with PTSD and anxiety, something that I deal with as well. I have multiple brain injuries, and I'll go into more of kind of the things that I've dealt with, the damage that I sustained from my gunshot wound, and as well as some other things that have happened to me. And I think that will kind of bring things together. I also would like to do like a 10-minute video a week is what I would like to do. And then in between those, maybe like hour-long interviews with these folks who have lost their people. I can tell you right now, probably the first few people that I'll have on, or some people I've met that their fathers have committed suicide. I also know some people who have had their children commit suicide, and I know a few people who have also attempted suicide. So if you know anyone who has attempted suicide, you know someone close to you that has committed suicide, and you want to talk to me, or you want to help me build this channel up and build some awareness, just leave a comment and subscribe, and I will keep doing these, and let's just start building this together. Like I said, there's been a lot of outreach to me to do this, and it's not easy to tell everyone about all the mistakes you've made. It's very difficult. I mean, it really is. I'm really not a public speaker. It's kind of just happened. I mean, I am public speaking, but the only reason why I'm doing it is because I want to change. I want to make a difference. I don't want your children, my children, your loved ones, my loved ones to make the same mistakes I have. And I think that if you've had that happen in your life, you feel the same way. You don't want other people to have to deal with that. So let's get together and let's make a difference. I know we can. And these videos are going to get better as time goes on. I'll get better at all this. This is very new to me. And yeah, just like and subscribe, comment down below in the box, and let's see what we can do. I really look forward to doing this and helping this grow. And so I guess with that being said, I'm going to end this video now. I don't really think I have anything else to add. I'm going to put some links to a podcast I was on, maybe some articles that was written about me. And I think that's about it. Like I said, all my videos will get cleaned up as time goes on. So thank you for your time, and like and subscribe, and let's do this. Let's make a difference. Thank you very much. Have a good day, guys.